This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hey everybody, this is Alex and this is the Ramble. We'll be here until midnight tonight. And look who we got here. An old friend. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bobby Slayton, and his immortal words to me are, let's get this over with.
Yeah, you know, I told you this is the last podcast. What do you call this thing? It's not even a podcast.
Oh,
what the fuck is this thing?
I don't want to call it a podcast. It's just the only method of communication that I have left in my lousy career. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? That's why I can't call my career lousy, because I'm retired. So this is all I'm doing. Yeah, I'm retired.
Wait a minute. Have you officially retired? I mean, is it that you don't care what time you get up in the morning and things like that?
Oh, I get up at 6, 7 o'clock every morning anyway, but I did that when I was working.
Because one of the big things I found with being kind of forced into retirement was that, among other things, I forgot what day it was.
I never had that problem really, because I always got shit going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the exterminators or the cleaning people or the doctor or the girlfriend's coming up for dinner. I always, yeah, I mean, occasionally I forget to get the day wrong, but I used to get it wrong all the time, you know, even when I was working. But when you called me, asked me to do this, I have nothing to plug. I have nothing to talk about. I don't like talking about comedy. I don't like making small talk. I don't go out with people. I like to eat dinner by myself. I went out for breakfast by myself today with nobody. I don't have to sit and talk to anybody. This is just a tremendous waste of time doing this.
But you have a woman in your life.
Right, so I got to talk to her, and that sucks all the energy out of me, and all my patience and all my So every moment I have without her, I don't want to be with anybody. And that's why I want to get this over with. You know, I don't know what time you're airing this stupid thing, but I have to go outside and do my sit-ups. I woke off my pastrami sandwich I had for breakfast, which I never do. But it's my birthday today, so I bought
I was going to say that because Marjorie told me that today is your birthday. This is being done on Wednesday,
May 25th.
May 25th. And it's your birthday. And how old are we now?
We are 67.
Okay. And do you find that you feel 67 or do you not feel 67?
I don't really know what 67 is supposed to feel like, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm 64.
Well, we had a little trouble with your iPad trying to do a Zoom call. Okay.
Well, obviously I didn't have a problem because obviously something was going on with the iPad because it's working on my phone.
Yeah, but
I have a problem with everything around this fucking house. You know, I have so many things going wrong with this house and I can't really fix anything. So, every day I have people here trying to fix shit. It's costing me a fucking fortune, and when you're not working, that it starts to add up big time. But I love my house.
Yeah.
My girlfriend lives right down the street. She's got a much, much, much bigger house. But I don't want to live there. I want to live here in my house. I love my house.
You like your
I have everything
house.
I need right here.
You've been in that house how long?
Out of 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that. When we bought it, probably 25. Well, I got it when my daughter was 12 or 13. She's 33. So,
well, it's 20.
Well, it's definitely over 20. So who knows? Over 20. But I don't know.
Is the house and the house is all paid for now?
Fuck no.
Oh, well, in that case,
Fuck no. No. As a matter of fact, I don't even pay my mortgage. I just pay the interest on the house. It's a lot cheaper, and so I just pay the interest every month, and that's why I'm saving a lot of money.
No, I thought that comedians made the big bucks.
Some comedians do. So do some radio people. So do some, store owners. Some don't. Some do. I guess it really depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right now, my gardener's making more money than I am. That's fine. But you know what? I do my Skechers commercials, the best sneakers in the world, and they pay me to do their radio spots and help write them.
Hey, because of you, I bought Skechers.
They're the best.
And I got to say, because you don't lace them up.
Oh, you got those? I'm wearing those right now, as a matter of fact.
Those are really nice. Those are really
cool.
nice. Yeah.
Yep, very cool. So anyway, I'm just doing stuff for them, and if somebody calls me, I'll do a gig. I did a gig 2 weeks ago in Reno. First time I worked in a year. I, of course, got COVID when I did it, but who cares?
You got COVID?
I got over pretty quick. Huh?
You got COVID, huh?
Yeah, I got it. I was at home for 10 days, all by myself, with my with my wine and my drums and my food.
Yeah, and did you have any real effect from it? Have you been vaccinated?
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was like a bad flu. It was great. People felt bad for me, sending me shit. I can't wait to get it again.
Because at our age, if we didn't have the shots, we'd probably be dead by now.
Yeah.
Luckily, we have not come down with COVID. Knock on wood.
Well, you know what? It's different for everybody. My neighbor just got it. He has the same symptoms I had. It just feels like a bad flu. Not even a bad flu. A little flu, a little sweat, a little coughing, and then have a couple glasses of wine, go for a swim. I'm fine. It's
Almost
great.
everybody I know has had it.
Yes, but It's a hip thing to do now.
Is it really?
Yeah. To get the vid, man, gotta get the vid. Gotta be with It's like bell-bottom pants. You gotta get them while they're cool because they're not gonna last long.
Well, maybe I better get it soon.
Well, you just gotta get over with already. What the hell?
But I don't think I've had it. I don't have any of the symptoms, and I'm just, the worst thing that happens to me at this age, I'm starting to fall. Okay, I do
that occasionally myself. I'm only 67.
I took a plots on the pavement up the street.
I just shut off my phone. Why is my fucking phone ringing? I can't talk to you. I'm on the phone with Bennett. I'm doing some podcast. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. My phone says ringer off. It says ringer off, and it's still ringing. Okay, so everything around this fucking house. You see that little thing? The ringer with the sign through it.
Yeah.
And it's still
Rings.
fucking ringing my phone. So okay.
Yeah, you're getting to be an old grouchy man.
I've been an old grouchy man for a long time. Not getting to be. Not getting to be. I bought this one pair of Skechers, and my girlfriend says to me, "Those like an old man shoes." Well, I'm an old man.
Something. Those are great. I don't want to do a commercial here for Skechers.
Why not?
But I don't think I bought better sneakers in my life. Okay.
No, Howard Stern said the same thing. I heard him talk about it on his show. He loves them, and everybody. A lot of people think they're either kids' sneakers or they're not hip because Michael Jordan doesn't wear them, or they're not hip because everybody. The Kardashians don't plug them, and all these hipster young douchebag people, and but they're great.
But you want to hear about old? You know what I did the other day?
I can't wait to hear.
I haven't done this, I think, ever in my life. I was sleeping and I fell out of bed. I fell on the floor.
I've never done that.
Woke up and went, what the hell happened? And Marjorie is going, what went on over there? Because I heard this big thud.
Wow.
I literally rolled off and fell, boom, on the floor. And it took me 5 minutes to kind of regather my thoughts enough to get up and get back in the bed.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never had that happen.
Get back in the bed. That's life. That's life.
So, I mean, you and I remember years ago, you and I one night were at my place in San Francisco, sitting on the couch, doing endless lines of Coke. Okay? You remember those days?
Yeah, I never did that much, really. I don't think we did endless lines of Coke.
Well, we were doing a lot of Coke, and you and I were bonding because we were chattering away about one thing and another, about the women in our life. I think you had one woman you were called Bozo the Crotch, and, and because she had red hair.
She left us,
Did she die?
Yeah, she died a few months ago of cancer. Yeah, she's gone.
Really? Well, there's another one. Gee.
Yeah. A lot of people are going and dying. And, it's happening. I remember when I first met you. I think I don't know what station you were. It was probably Camel, KBL, before Quake, I think. But it was one or the other. I don't know. But it was. I remember giving you shit all the time, teasing you because you were so old. You were like 40. I kept calling you an old man. Remember, oh my God, you're 40. Alex is 40. Wow. You know.
Yeah.
Now, how old are you now? How old?
82.
Wow. See, it's scary being 67, but then you're 82, and then you got to think, like, if you want to bake potato, you have to stop and think, well, this could take an hour. I might not bake it that long. I might have something quicker. I don't know if we can wait an hour for potato. I don't have that much time left. You know, maybe there's something, some frozen microwave fries or something I could do instead.
Now a potato takes on a whole new meaning to me after that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm right behind you, pal. So, you know.
But the thing I think that bothers me the most is when I hear about somebody I know dying. You know, when I heard about Saget dying, for instance.
Right.
You know, I'm going, come on, you know, that isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, you know what? I did work actually, not just that Reno gig. I worked a couple of months ago with Gilbert, and
Gilbert's another one. Gilbert,
I worked. Yeah, I was trying to get back into stand-up. I wanted to just to see if I could still do it because I hadn't done it for a while, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. Somebody called me up and said, "You want to open for Gilbert in Vegas for a night?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, I don't want to do more than 15, 20 minutes because I'm not sure I even remember how to do it." It all came back to me, but yeah, he seemed to be okay. I mean, Gilbert never seemed like he was well. Gilbert never looked like, well, you look great, Gilbert. You sound terrific. You know, just spry and chipper and hopping along. Gilbert was never like, he always looked kind of.
Well, the thing is that Gilbert and I I knew him quite well. I mean, we used to spend almost the night before New Year together because we had a mutual friend who would hold a party, and then he and I would just go off in the corner and talk for an hour or two. You know,
right? He was you know, when he wasn't on, and he was just, you know, he was a very shy guy,
very intelligent. You know,
yeah, very smart, kind of very hip and knew. You know, popular culture, his radio show was great.
He started a podcast, and the last time we were together, he asked me, he said, "You have podcasts, right?" He said, "Right." He says, "How do you make money out of it?" I said, "You haven't made money out of yours yet? You're very popular." He says, "No, I haven't seen a penny."
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, but I mean, when I heard of Gilbert going, I mean, that was a complete shock because I didn't even know he was sick.
Well, I didn't know either. I didn't know him that well, but like I said, I worked with him. We had dinner, and he seemed fine, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's why when you asked me if I wanted to do a radio show, and I said no, I threw up. Now, if Alex dies soon, I'm going to feel really bad that I told him no.
You feel real bad.
Now, if you die, it's not going to matter as much because I know what I did is stupid radio show.
I'm glad that I could ease your guilt. That certainly is important to me. But the thing is that we just I keep losing people that you don't know, and you probably lose people that I don't know. You know that it's just and I'm starting to measure my life by how many people are left. You know, and I talk about best friends and people that I'm always in contact with, and that, you know, if something happens to me, they want to know what's going on. And I wasn't that much for getting friends. I mean, you would be more of a friend if I lived close to you, right?
Yeah, that's why it's good you're not that close. That's why it's good that most of my friends are either out of town or dead. It's less people I have to go out with.
I know that if I lived in L.A. and I called you up, you would immediately say, "Don't come over." So, you know, I mean...
Well, you wouldn't be alone. I got a lot of people. You want to have lunch? And I go, no, I don't want to have lunch.
But anyway...
No, why would I go out for lunch with you? I'm sick of talking to people. You know, I have nothing to say anymore.
I had a friend, Bruce David, who was the editor of Hustler magazine, and one day he was like a best friend of mine. He drops dead, okay? And then my friend Steve Gruberg, I don't know if you ever met him or
I remember him.
Yes, Steve gets cancer and dies, okay?
Right.
So now I'm down to one friend left that I can talk to on a regular basis, and that's
Who is that?
Shecky. Over at the Letterman. Remember he's at the Letterman show?
Yeah, I love Shecky. Tell him I said hello.
Yeah. And I keep telling Shecky every time I see him, I said, "You better not die on me. Otherwise, I have no friends," you know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, it's nice to have friends, I guess. I just don't like to go anywhere with them. I'm going out with Pollock on Sunday night out to Rayo's for my birthday.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Mark Thompson and Kevin Pollock.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll tell him you said hello.
I haven't talked to him for years. Tell him I said hello. You know.
Well, why don't you get Pollock on your show? Somebody's working.
I don't know how to get a hold of Pollock.
You can easily get a hold of him if you wanted
How?
to. I'll tell him Sunday night. I'll give him your number when I see him. I'll tell him to call you.
Okay, would you do that? Because I'd love to do a thing with Kevin. You know,
he probably won't call you, but I'll pass it on. I'll be happy to pass it on.
Yeah. So let me forget about. We really haven't talked about comedy except when you've wanted to talk about your career. But
I never wanted to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it now.
In the last few times you've been out there, have you been threatened at all?
No, because I never go. I never perform at all.
But so you weren't performing for what, the last 2-3 years, say, pre-COVID?
2 years ago, I started to practice a little. I'd worked for 6 months before COVID hit. I went with Bill Maher to Hawaii, me, and Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
And that was before COVID. So I worked a few nights, at the Improv just to practice because I hadn't worked for 6 months before that.
Right.
And then after Bill Maher's show, which went great, we had a great time in Hawaii. Then I didn't work again for another year or two till I worked with Gilbert. And went to the Improv once or twice, did 20 minutes.
Wow.
And then I worked a thing in Reno 3 weeks ago. And so, no, I haven't had any problems because I don't work that much.
Yeah.
I haven't, I haven't really done any shows. The shows that I did with Gilbert, people were expecting this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So, but I'm done now. I have no intention of ever going back to do stand-up comedy unless, of course, Bill Maher wants to take me to Hawaii again or, I get a nice corporate gig in Reno for,
right.
$2,000.
Right.
And, but I have no intention of doing it again. I don't miss it.
How long ago was it that you did the Gilbert gig?
We did about 2-3 months ago.
2 or 3 months ago. Did you feel when you got on stage you had to censor yourself?
No, because it was called The Nasty Show.
Okay.
It was called Gilbert's Dirty Show. Gilbert and his dirty friends or some stupid thing like that.
I always talk about the most fun time I've ever had in my life was sitting at the Pierre Hotel having high tea with Gilbert and Penn Jillette. And a couple of other people. And then the two of them started telling jokes. One would do one, then one would try and top it. Then the other one would do one, another one would top it. This went on for an hour, and I swear to you, after it was through, it was the funniest moment I've ever had in my life. I mean,
yeah, those guys are great.
I mean, especially Gilbert. Gilbert had a lexicon of filthy, dirty jokes that, he was a compendium of that.
Yes, well, that's why things went so well in Vegas because people were coming to see that. Few people came to see me, and I mean, it was Thea Vidal was on the show. It was just great, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I had, and the show was kick-ass, but I had no desire to do it again. So I'm done.
Is there something about you that maybe the thrill of performing has died?
Yeah, I've just done it too many times for too long, and it was, it felt a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just lost the will to write, and the audiences have changed, and, it's great that some people still love it. Louis Black and, certainly Jerry Seinfeld and Jay Leno. These people, they love it. They don't need the money, but they do it because they love it,
Seinfeld especially loves comedy, and he loves.
Well, obviously, he's one of the richest men,
Yeah.
He's a billionaire now, so it's certainly not about money for Jerry. He loves doing it.
He loves doing comedy. That's it.
Right.
Plain and simple.
It's fine. I loved it for a long time. And you know what? If I was making Jerry Seinfeld money and you have to really want to write material, and I don't really want to write material anymore, and I'm just tired of the whole thing.
You know what I heard? I heard the other day? That David Letterman, who does, I think it's like 6 episodes for Netflix, maybe 8 episodes for Netflix a year,
right.
makes as much money doing those 8 episodes as CBS paid him to do an entire year.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, it does surprise me.
That's somewhere
but it
around
doesn't
$30 million. Yeah.
Yeah, good for him, and that's great. I'm more power to these people. You know, I probably would love comedy and acting. If actually acting, I don't even go out to reach for stuff. I hate acting.
I'll tell you what grieves me a little bit when you talk about not doing the business, not wanting to get back in. It's kind of like if somebody had told me in the old days, Jascha Heifetz has given up playing the violin. You know,
I get that comparison a lot.
Yeah, a great virtuoso has decided not to pick his instrument up anymore.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And that grieves me because I you know how much I appreciated you as a comic.
Well, you know what? It's my day has passed, and the stuff I was doing was young people, young kids, and to be honest with you, I don't even want to do that kind of material. I don't even want to. I'm sick of it. So whatever.
I just saw a documentary that Judd Apatow did on George Carlin.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it this weekend.
And it's amazing how many times Carlin reinvented himself, had to reinvent himself. You know, first he was the clean comic who went on Sullivan and did the clean. Then he dirtied up his act and he became the hippie comic. And then when that whole thing passed, he didn't know where to go next. So then he went to HBO and did these one-man shows and became another sensation. In other words, he constantly reinvented himself to keep himself in the game.
Well, he obviously loved it too, because I would see George on a. It's funny. I ran into him at least 3-4 times. We were both flying back from wherever, Dallas or New York. I'd always see him on the plane, and he'd always say hello, very nice guy, and then he would literally just sit in his seat and work on material for hours. And then I remember I was playing him once in Tahoe at Caesars, I think, and he was at Harrah's. And I said to his opening act, we were going out for dinner. I said, you should invite George. He goes, George never leaves his room. He's got his exercise bike. He just stays in the room and works on material. So there's another guy who actually, curmudgeonly man, but obviously
but he never
loved what he did.
Yeah, he never got out of the business. He loved it,
Right.
And there are certain people who just love doing comedy, as I say, Seinfeld.
Well, that's great.
But you seem to have lost that love of doing it.
No, I've lost my love for doing anything.
I think
especially,
you know what the problem was? You were what we called a road warrior. You were you were on the road every day of the week. Okay,
it was brutal.
One hotel after another, one airplane seat after another,
and flying coach, and doing horrible morning radio, and drunken idiots in Texas and Mississippi, whatever fucking redneck horrible piece of shit state, and bachelorette parties and fraternities and assholes and just the whole thing. There were just too many, loaded with douchebags. And most of the shows went fine, but then I just have so many drunks. I had a second show on Friday night, sometimes a third show on Saturday night. It was just
I never
awful.
got the feeling though that you minded doing my show.
I know it was fine most of the time. I just, sometimes after staying up at night, drinking and doing a show, it's hard to get up the next morning and do radio. It was the whole process. It was fun for a while. It had its ups and downs. It paid for this beautiful home I'm living in and put my daughter through school. And it's.
Okay, I want to ask you a question that has nothing to do with any of this. Okay, the other day when I was trying to do this, we've had to do this 3 times, but finally we found out it works on your iPhone, so that we know. Okay, but we'll never have to do it again because you're never going to do another interview ever again.
No more interviews. My last one.
Okay, your last. I'm the last one, right?
Probably, yeah.
If I hear of you doing another, I'm calling you to see if you want to do one.
All right, let's get this over with. Today I got to go swimming.
No, but here's what I wanted to ask
work
you.
Out.
When I asked you to do the show, you said, "Well, let's see. Tomorrow I have a appointment with my urologist." Okay, and then you waited in the urologist's office forever, and you had to write me and tell me I might be late for the interview. Then we had some problems with it, and we had to redo it now. What? And it's just a strange question because I had prostate cancer. Okay, and I got the radiation, and I got the seeds put in, and I'm good to go. All right.
Right.
You probably have to put up with me calling you, begging you to do interviews for the next 10 years. All right. Hopefully, knock on wood. What'd you go to the urologist for?
Just a checkup.
Huh?
Just a checkup because my PSAs are always so high.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right.
Well, not high, like 5.3.
Oh,
He goes, but they're steady. He goes, want to do a biopsy? I said, no, not really. He said, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they did a biopsy on me, and they found some cancer, and they sent me over to Mount Sinai to this doctor who put seeds in your radioactive seeds in your prostate, and he did a radiation thing with me first, and then he put those in. And the fun part about it is he's the same guy who 20 years ago put radioactive seeds in Rudy Giuliani.
Wow.
So I'm just hoping that I have the same luck Rudy Giuliani had with it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was just a regular old fucking checkup.
Okay. So what's the rest of your day today?
Well, you've already taken up a good portion of it, so the day's already fucked up.
Oh, we're gonna do another hour here, you know.
Oh, yeah, right. I want to go. I'm gonna go to my girlfriend's house and go swimming right now because my pool's too big and cold. I can't heat it. You know, it's global warming. It's nice during the day, that it's freezing at night, so it's costing me a fortune. So I just go to her house and swim.
I imagine your pool to be a bacteriological petri dish.
Why is that?
Just a bunch of germs and everything in it. Yeah.
Well, considering nobody hasn't been in it for, I heated it last month, and then it gets freezing, and and then the water we're getting, the water shortage, just big pain in the ass.
And then how much does it? How much? Oh, he just lost. Just pick it up. How much does it cost you to heat that pool?
If I heated it, probably $500 a month.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But in the summertime when it's warm at night, I only have to heat it for a few minutes, every day or once a week. But now it's so big and so deep that I can't. I just can't afford to heat it all the time. There's shit going on. Now we're gonna get fined for water, and I have gorgeous gardens. My girlfriend calls my house the Botanical Gardens. So anyway, the rest of the day I'm gonna go plant the cactus to try not to hurt myself because those things are a bitch to plant.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go to her swimming, and then we'll go to the great new pizza place for dinner for my birthday. And I got to go do my workout. I'm going to go try to play my drums for a few minutes. And I get a lot of shit every day. I'm happily retired. I have stuff to do every day.
Well, you're the highlight. You're the highlight of my day.
That's how sad is that?
That's pathetic. It's just pathetic. Anyway, I want to thank you for this, Bobby. I know how much it pains you to do it, and certainly it was difficult, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was every moment.
Well, it's not difficult talking to you. I just know it's a beautiful day, and I know since I'm retired, I can go outside every day. It's not like I have one day off.
Yeah, today is not any day more special than tomorrow, except as long as you're above room temperature,
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right, and everything's fine. I told you I don't want to do this. We have nothing to talk about, and we had nothing to talk about. Talking about heating my pool. And a prostate examination. That was the highlight of our conversation.
We talked about a lot of things, believe it or not. I consider any time I talk to you worthwhile.
Great. Well, thanks.
And the wonderful part about it is you're very funny today without doing any material.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, a lot of times when I used to interview you, you had material because you were working on material, so you've tried it out on my audience or on the radio or whatever, But
by the way, I'm talking to you with my hearing aids. That's another pleasure of getting old. I knew I was going deaf for a long time, and you always think it's not going to happen to you, but when I'm working out, I blast my Walkman, my iPod, and blast. I still do it, and then I blast it while I play the drums. By the way, when I say play the drums, I bang the drums. I'm certainly not a drummer.
Well,
I got two gorgeous sets of drums, and I sit and play for about 10, 15 minutes a day, and then throw down the sticks in disgust because I'm so bad. But I guess the only way to get good is to play more than 10 or 15 minutes a day, but I have no patience for anything.
Well,
But anyway, so, that's why I'm deaf. My girlfriend's thrilled I have these things. I got to say, it does help me watch TV. It's good for television. So that's good about
that's great. I luckily, after all these years of having worn earphones and done things with listening, so I know my hearing's damn good.
It's so funny. Gilbert Gottfried had hearing aids. He told me he never wears them unless his wife said the only time he wears them is when he's watching television.
Well, he didn't need hearing aids to hear himself.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But my wife is now, when on TV, she has me turn on the closed captions.
Oh, I have that too. I have the hearing aids and closed caption. I like closed caption. I like having both.
Yeah, you're getting old, folks, when you need closed caption.
I like that. Anyway, okay, well, great. I hope this was very
Bobby,
entertaining.
This is terrific, and let's you and I talk anyway, not having anything to do with doing an interview on this program. Okay?
Okay, yeah. Well, call me anytime.
Ladies and gentlemen, doing nothing, in retirement, now 67 years old, as of today. It's the lovely and attractive and old friend of mine, and I, one of the friendships I really value,
No, well, that's sad, but okay.
Well, that shows how few friends I have. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Well, I have to do my sit-ups now. I have to work off the pastrami sandwich I had for breakfast. All right?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Slayton. Bye-bye.
Bye. See ya, pal.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
And let's see here. Is there anybody trying? No, nobody's trying to call in. All right. Okay. That's all right with me. All right. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. There is somebody out there. There is Jeff Stein. Let me just bring Jeff Stein in so that we have him there. I don't want him to have to sit out there all by himself when nobody else is calling. Let me see here. Let's go to the Zoom panel. There we go. There's Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. You're okay.
The button. I got you.
Yeah,
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. You're it. You're my only. You're my only caller.
Well, this is the group.
Yeah, this is the group. I can go as short as I want to tonight, or as long as I want to, because again, Jack Bishop isn't going to be doing a show tonight because he's still in the hospital. He hasn't got anything life-threatening, but there are problems that he has with standing up. So it's not but I don't want to say what's happening. He should tell his audience, but I just want you to know he's okay. I talked to him earlier today, and he's doing just fine. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring you on because I just have a few things I want to talk about, and if we don't get any other people, I'll just call it quits early tonight. I can do that.
No problem.
Last night's program, I don't know about you, but there were certain elements of it I was disappointed with. I was disappointed because I just can't believe there's a singular human being in the United States of America who doesn't realize that we all have a responsibility to solve this problem about guns in America. It's just gotten out of hand. Okay, and what's going to happen is we just had how many kids was it? 19 kids, 2 adults killed, and a grandmother. So that's 22 people who got killed. All right, and we're all going around saying how horrible that is, and all the TV stations are doing wall-to-wall coverage about this thing, and we got to do something about it, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. And places like MSNBC are turning it into into an audience-getting deal, And so we're going to go through this whole thing right now, where we're going to go into we're so sorry that this is happening, and this shouldn't happen, and isn't it horrible, and whatever. And then about a week from now, we'll forget it. And it'll be back to business as usual until the next thing happens. Yeah.
Well, I got a call. On on the computer today, or maybe it was on TV,
Yeah.
from the guy in Connecticut whose 10-year-old girl got killed. Remember, this was like a couple of years ago.
Was this up in what do you call town? Yeah.
What's it called, baby?
Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
You got a call from him?
Yeah, that he was not personally to me, but it was an ad type of thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. And he was trying to get some money to help work on this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we sent them some money.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I came up with an idea. Hello, Phil.
But I heard his presentation, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to cry.
Well, he lost.
It's so
he
sad.
lost he lost a child. He lost a baby.
Gorgeous looking
Yeah.
2-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who.
6-year-old. Whatever.
6-year-old had to be 6. Had to be somewhere around there. Yeah. I mean, it's god awful. And I don't know. Last night I was very conflicted when I got off the air because, Phil, you were a bad boy last night.
I just disagreed with you,
No, you
and
weren't
I had my own opinion.
You were.
The reason I called tonight was you didn't have any callers, and I really enjoyed your Bobby interview.
Yeah.
And so I figured, I didn't want you to sit and suffer.
Well, I'm not going to sit and suffer. I think eventually we'll get somebody, but thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate it.
It's my
But
pleasure.
it wasn't a matter of you just were spreading a lot of wrong information.
I think there's half the country that feels the way I do.
No, 88% of Americans believe we have to do something about this.
No, I think we have to do something about school security, mental health.
No, wait a minute,
things
hold
like
on.
that.
They did something about school security at that school.
Yeah, they waited an hour before they went in.
No, Phil. They had a whole department in that school district that dealt with this sort of thing, 4 of which were armed police that could be dispatched. They had all the things. They had rules in that school about only one door had to be open, which I think is kind of a stupid idea because if you only have one door open, where are all the kids going to run out of if something's going on?
You know where the shooter made access in that school?
The side door.
Right. Wasn't the door that was supposed to be open.
But what I'm saying is you were suggesting that we have one entrance, one exit. And that's a bad idea because if somebody goes in there and starts shooting, you pretty well got those kids penned in there. Let's not get into this again. I'm going to get upset.
Let me explain the one entrance thing. For instance, at a police department, there's something called a sally port.
I don't give a shit what goes on at a police department. This is a grade school for kids.
Well, it's the way you do security to make sure that everybody inside is safe. So you pull in, for instance, with the car, and you pull into the sally port, and then the gate closes, and there's another gate. So once you're in there, you can't get into the main area until everybody's been cleared, and then they open that second door, and people go in. So you can trap someone that you don't want inside in this sally port area, and I don't know why they call it a sally port, but that's what it is.
Oh, and so we got to make it like police departments. We got to make it like prisons.
Our society has gotten to the point where the only way we can protect our children.
Our society has gotten to the point where 19 kids can get killed and Congress does nothing about it.
Well, we'll see what Congress does, but I don't agree with you that taking guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens is the way to do it.
Do you know what this Greg Abbott said yesterday? That was so stupid. It was just so stupid. He said, well, you know something, the laws I passed wasn't supposed to protect an 18-year-old kid from being able to get guns. And the fact is, the law he passed made it very easy for him to get guns. He didn't have to do anything. He just had to go there and say, I want to buy a gun. Thank you. Here it is.
Well, that has been challenged. I believe it was the Supreme Court dealt with 18-year-olds and guns. There was a law that said you had to be 21, and I believe that was overturned recently by the Supreme Court, and they're saying that that's not constitutional. Now, who am I to?
Okay, well,
say,
you're monopolizing the conversation again tonight.
All right. Hey, you got other callers. I can go back to watching TV.
You're fine being here. It's just that, you keep coming out with the same old trope. And the fact is that what you're saying is wholly wrong. That the solution, the solution that we have to do something with these schools and making sure there's an armed guard there. Listen, there was an armed guard at that school down in Florida. Okay. What did that do?
He didn't win either.
Well, no, but I'm saying you had that down there. In a lot of the schools that have had shootings now, they've actually had an armed presence on site, and the kids still got killed.
I get it. It's just that I stand up and
you don't get it, Phil. You do.
Well,
not
I sit in a synagogue on High Holy
Don't
days.
give me that fucking thing about
I do that in order for people to be able to pray in peace.
Well, they could pray in peace anyway, even if you weren't there.
Well, maybe or maybe not. The same thing could have happened to this Chabad that I help out as it did in this school. So, hey, I don't want to monopolize your conversation.
No, I'm not saying that. Look, we still don't have many people here.
Yeah, well, you already yelled at me for monopolizing.
Well,
so
last night you were a little too every time somebody said something, then you had to say something. You felt you had to say something.
Yeah, but it was one against 7.
Well, if you perceive it as that way, it doesn't have to be 1 against 7. It can be 8 all on the same side, but you don't want to seem to do it that way.
Well, it was 7.5. Well, yeah, of course not. It was 7.5 because Alan counts as 1.5.
Oh, does he really? Alan, are you out there?
Yeah, look at the size of Alan.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just that we're beginning to find out, for instance, that first the police department down there said, oh, well, there was a cop there, and that he did confront the guy, and then today they said, well, no, there wasn't.
Matter of fact, there was a ton of police there. They took a perimeter position, and nobody made entry for an hour. This crazy out kid was in there killing people, allowing children to bleed out for a full hour before the cops made entry.
Yeah, but no, look, here's the thing. Okay, if you're going to take the position, as Greg Abbott does, about, well, we have to fortify our schools and we have to do this and we have to do that, then what have you done about it? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Okay? Well, that's the problem. Absolute zero. And if you haven't done anything about it, don't sit around saying that this is going to be the solution to the problem, because you aren't solving it.
But I have done something about it. It doesn't have to be in a school. It happens to be in a Chabad.
Oh, God, don't give me that Chabad again. Just leave it alone.
But you're saying I don't do anything about it.
No, I didn't.
I am standing up and doing the right thing. I am protecting people. And I'm not getting paid for it. I do it because it's the right thing to do.
God bless you, Phil.
I put my life on the line as someone that would encounter a bad guy on the front line.
Okay, here's what I was thinking today we got to do. I wish that I was still on the air. I still had a platform. I still had a bully pulpit, as it were. And what I would do is, I'm sick and tired of all these guys in Washington, D.C. who are voting the way they vote about, say, guns, because of people who are paying the bills for them, and they don't want to upset them. So they don't want to lose all that money for their campaigns and things like that. Well, my feeling is we should go out and find a couple of billionaires who are really committed and get a chunk of money from them, like $1 billion each, and then go down to Washington and say, here's the money. Start doing stuff for us. you know, and go and say, hey, the NRA doesn't have this kind of bucks. You want these kind of bucks for your campaign? You vote the way we want you to. You know, but what's happening is the money is talking. All these guys are in the pocket of the NRA. I mean, you got who's speaking this weekend at the convention in Houston?
Trump
and you got Ted Cruz and Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
Alan.
No, I came in at the right time. I guess the NRA is not very powerful right now. The guy that was in charge, Alex LaPierre or something like that, almost
Wayne
bankrupted.
LaPierre.
Yeah, Wayne LaPierre. He almost bankrupted them. They had to move from New York to Texas, and so they're not very powerful right now.
But
Alan West is
forget about Alan West. Let
but
Alan.
he's running against Wayne
LaPierre. Obviously, Ted Cruz is sucking their dick anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
what would be the difference between these people actually believing that this is the right thing to do and not just getting money for it? You say that they're getting money and they're being bought off, and that's why they're taking that position.
They don't think it's
Maybe
the right.
they're like me. Nobody has paid me,
but
I believe in that position. And I haven't paid money.
And it's a wrong position to have, Phil.
Well, that's your opinion.
I mean, you saw 19 kids killed. Didn't you want to say to yourself, well, maybe we got to do something about this?
Yeah.
You know?
And I have
like maybe not sell, not to begin with, just ban selling assault rifles.
You know, it's
well, you still
because I believe it's mental illness. And
it may be mental illness, Phil, but it's mental illness on the part of Greg Abbott, who's crazed. He's nuts.
You know,
Donald Trump, a guy who literally was sitting there cheering on the crowd when they said "hang Pence."
You know, if Abbott changed to being a Democrat, all of a sudden Phil would not be interested in the guy defending him. No, you're not defending Greg Abbott.
I am not defending Greg Abbott. I am defending my position on guns.
Okay.
Well, you know, you got another guy here who likes his guns. His name is Alan. And Alan takes an opinion absolutely the opposite of yours.
I don't think so.
Not the opposite. I just don't like Greg Abbott. I don't like what he said in the past couple of days about the shooting. And, you know, I haven't heard Trump or DeSantis or any of the other.
We haven't heard a word from Trump on this. Haven't heard a word from him.
He's probably taken the low road, and it's probably smart for him because he can stick his foot in his mouth real easily. And if you know, and so what? He's not the president. He may run, but getting involved in this, why even say anything at all?
Matt, you've had 24 hours to think about this.
The whole thing is so infuriating to me. I can't even tell you, but the idea they keep pushing this thing of we got to get all the retirees out there. What makes them think that any of those retirees want to go out there and be Rambo? You know, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't think that's what he said yesterday.
No, they keep saying on Fox News and all that garbage. They keep saying, "Oh, I say we got to get those retirees out there and get them in the schools." 130,000 of them.
Yeah, because if we lose one of if we lose one of them, they're going to go soon anyway.
Look, whether you get retirees, whether you get unemployed returning Iraqi veterans, it's a start. Okay. I mean, not all the schools.
Maybe the start is to start at the beginning, which is limiting who can get their hands on these weapons. Okay, that's for starters. Wait a minute, that's for starters. Secondly, mental health is certainly very important. But the matter of fact is that there's something sick in this society. You know, we're the only nation in the world that has this problem.
And you know why?
Only one. In Australia, they had a mass killing. They just clamped down on guns. They haven't had another mass killing in 20 years, I think it is.
In Australia,
in Scotland, the same thing happened. They shut them all down. There hasn't been another mass event in Scotland.
You know why millions of people are trying to get into this country by any means possible? Because of the freedoms that we have.
Oh, I see. What freedoms?
And the
Phil?
Second Amendment
what
is
fuck?
one of those freedoms.
No. Oh, that's not a freedom. That's not a freedom.
Not to you.
No, that's not a freedom.
You know, you're living in an area of the country that's one of the most draconian areas when it comes to owning a gun or possessing a gun. You're not allowed to possess a gun in New York City. And why do you have the highest gun crime?
I think you're wrong, Phil. I think that
no,
law.
I'm not. It's a soft target.
That was the Sullivan Law, and I think it was done
68.
away with. It was done away with years ago.
Yes, but right now, if I have a friend that spent 3 years in prison because there was a home invasion in his home on 73rd and 3rd, and what happened was his bodyguard wasn't there, but his bodyguard's gun was there. He thwarted the home invasion, and then showed the police the videotapes of his security camera. He was arrested because he was in possession of a gun that wasn't registered to him, and that's a three-year mandatory sentence.
Wait a minute, what did you just say?
He was in possession of a gun
that wasn't registered to him.
It was registered to his bodyguard.
Isn't that illegal?
In New York, so you can't defend yourself.
I think it's illegal in a lot of places.
No, in New York, you have to have special registration to even touch a gun. You can't even touch it.
Even have it in your house.
Yeah, you can't even have it in your house. And so he saved his life. He thwarted a home invasion and spent 3 years in prison because of him defending himself. That's what happens in New York if you try to a law-abiding citizen possesses a gun.
Thank God.
Now, yeah. So that means that the criminals can run roughshod over law-abiding citizens.
If you make guns illegal, only the criminals will have guns.
Yes, they will.
I remember that little trope.
Well, it's true.
Never was true on its face value. Charlene, how you feeling tonight?
Oh God, I have everyone asking me if I'm sick, and I'm not. It's not COVID. It's just.
Well, thank God for that.
We've had some really harsh hay fever around here.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's terrible. I'm going to try to get something
it's funny,
again
if you have hay fever these days, everybody doesn't want to see you because they think you've got COVID.
I know, it's awful.
I took a COVID test tonight. One of my employees came down with COVID a day before yesterday.
Yeah.
So I waited a couple of days. I hadn't had much contact with him.
Yeah.
And this was the test. It is neutral. I do not have COVID. I am not the father.
You need to wait 5 days if you're not having symptoms. But that's besides the point. Charlotte,
I got another one.
Have you ever heard of this stuff? It's basically Flonase. It's the generic form.
I've got Flonase. Yeah.
You got to use it before hay fever season starts a couple weeks and keep using it all through hay fever. It made a remarkable difference. By the way,
don't buy Flonase. I'll tell you why, because it's going to cost you about $35. Okay. If you go over to Costco,
right.
And I have a bottle of it here somewhere. Where is it?
Yeah, you get like a 5-pack for like $30.
And then
this is my prescription. It cost me $3.
It's called Aller.
Yeah. It's the same
Flow,
stuff.
I think.
It's exactly the same stuff under Costco.
It's the same thing as Flonase.
Because of COVID, it's like it's bad enough that you're miserable with these allergies and hay fever and the sneezing and and then you got to go out nowadays and everyone is like, "You're not sick, are you?" I had the woman in the dentist office say that after they took my temperature and everything, and I said, "No, I'm not." I said, and I've had all my boosters. I said I had 4 shots already.
Charlene, did you ever try what's the pill?
You interrupted her to ask her what the pill is. Shame.
Well, I was going to ask her if she tried this pill, and I just forgot the name of the pill.
Real good? Like Benadryl dries you up or something?
Well, it's not Benadryl. It's it'll come back to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is pretty good, but I find that the more you use it, the less effective it is.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's if you
I use it year round.
If you use Flonase, Flonase has a certain little smell to it This has the same smell. It's the same stuff.
I love it. I love it. It makes it.
Yeah.
What
I won't
about
say
the
that.
though, Alex?
What?
Like, you heard that. I mean, people are starting to tell me about monkeypox now,
Yep.
and I'm
Claritin D. Claritin D.
right. I have Zyrtec or something. The same thing.
Zyrtec is better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Monkeypox is only spread through sexual contact. I understand.
Totally not true.
No, totally not.
Totally not true. You're
Well,
wrong
I
again.
didn't. Then I figured I'd never get it.
Yeah, well, monkeypox it's not pretty, but I don't know how much of a problem it is.
Well, we'll find out. Time will tell.
Yeah, just what we need. Another thing coming to get us. Hi, Ray.
The thing with monkeypox, Alex, is we have the vaccine already for
Hello.
it.
Yeah. Hi.
It the same vaccine that prevents you from getting
HIV, I think.
pox. What's the pox? Smallpox. Works to get monkeypox. If you get a smallpox vaccine,
What is pox?
85% effective against monkeypox.
Okay.
Like if I look that up in the dictionary, does that mean like smallpox, monkeypox?
They're very closely related, Shirley. And so, the way they know that this vaccine works is because monkeypox it's come in this country and other countries for a few cases here and there, but in Africa and West Africa, it's rampant. And so they know that giving people injections for the smallpox vaccine keeps you about 85% effective. And the vaccine's been on the market for years. And so the only people in this country that won't get them are probably the Republicans.
Right.
They don't believe in medicine.
You know what this whole thing with the gun thing and COVID and stuff like that has taken us away from and taken our eye off the ball of a very important thing going on in our country right now, and I really think that we have to really change our priorities and get back to basics. How many here are watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
Clips.
Just clips.
Yeah,
I can't.
I watched her today.
Ridiculous.
I watched her today testify. She went back on the stand figuring one more time might be the charm for her.
Wrong.
Now we know why she can't get a job in the next Aquaman movie. Because she's a lousy goddamn actress.
I thought it was because she couldn't swim.
No, it was horrible. She was doing this act, and it was excruciatingly bad.
It's horrible.
Huh?
She's horrible.
Yeah.
One of Depp's other girlfriends from the late 90s,
Yeah.
An actress,
What's
I forgot her
name?
name,
Yeah.
cute, good looking. She says, "Oh, he was so nice. I fell down. He helped me." And
well, what it was is she said that who's the model?
Kelly something.
No,
or,
not Kelly something.
No, he was married to a supermodel for a long time.
No, that was another supermodel.
No.
What?
Well, they said Kelly. I'm thinking LeBron.
I can't remember the woman's name. She was blonde. She was cute.
We'll call her Claritin for right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, she got on the stand yesterday and said that. See, what happened is Amber on the stand said that this woman had been thrown down a flight of stairs by Johnny. At least those were the rumors. And this woman got on the stand. I'm trying to remember her name now. I knew it really well.
I can't remember it either.
And just said, no such thing ever happened. I did fall down a flight of stairs because it was raining and the stairs were wet, and I slipped and I fell, and he came turning around, came back, rushed back, picked me up, took me upstairs and put me in bed to make sure I was okay, And I went, gee, what a nice guy.
Kate Moss.
Kate Moss.
He was with her for a long time.
Kate Moss.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's got to say something about him that somebody who's his ex-girlfriend was willing to testify on his behalf. Very nice. So apparently,
this Amber lady is an actress.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know it to watch her.
What's she been in?
Can't you tell by watching her?
Aquaman.
She's trying.
She's an Aquaman.
She's been in Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
No, she was in Aquaman. Yeah,
Okay.
she was
A
in
bunch
a
of
couple
stuff.
other things. Yeah, she's been
I'll do her IMDb.
but she's kind of he referred to her as this, and I think it was true, as a gold digger. And come on, you're going with Johnny. You married Johnny Depp, and just before that, you were going with Elon Musk. Come on, what doesn't seem right here?
You know, the funny thing is, most women would take her side, but I've asked all my women friends, and they're like, "Nope, she's acting. It's a horrible."
My wife, Marjorie, is completely on Depp's side.
Yeah, so am I.
Because what you see there is this psycho woman. Who makes recordings of everything in your life?
Nobody.
Yeah, who's making secret recordings of fights you're having with your husband if you haven't got a reason to do it,
Right.
like a payday later on down the line.
And then somehow magically, when the actual abuse occurred, she never got that on tape.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the next day she would show up someplace with a bruise, but then the next day it magically disappeared.
Yeah.
Modern makeup, moolah.
Her makeup man.
I mean, there's something about that trial that has really captured America. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like the O.J. Simpson trial.
I have a question. Why is it on television?
It's not really on television. It's on the internet. It's being streamed.
Allowed that, they say. No one can understand why, because it's so embarrassing to him.
Exactly.
Well, I don't think.
Well, he wants to clear his name, right?
I don't think it's embarrassing to him. I think it's actually going to resurrect his career because
his career was pretty much over.
Well, he comes across as being a fairly nice guy, Right. And so he's changing his image. I think he's going to get work because of this. I don't think she'll.
Talking about Johnny Depp or Phil Meyer?
What about Kevin Spacey?
Well, that's the latest one, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
Man, that is just a disaster.
Well, you may remember the last case that they charged him with here in the United States was dropped, for insufficient evidence. So now the British figure, well, 2 times is the charm, and they just nailed him with three counts.
So Amber Heard was in North Country, Syrup, I never heard of this, Drive Angry, The Joneses, Never Back Down, Alpha Dog, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
No wonder I've never heard of her.
Yeah,
you've never heard of her.
Yeah, really.
Friday Night Lights was kind of a big deal.
Californication on Showtime, Criminal Minds.
Okay, so is Depp
Zombieland?
I've only seen a few clips. Is Depp suing her for cash, or what is he suing for?
Yeah, he's suing her.
So,
he's suing her for $50 million, and she's countersuing for $100 million.
Right.
She earned $50 for an article.
Now he has the $100 million. She doesn't have the $50 million.
Right.
Not even.
Yeah, but maybe she'll ask Elon Musk.
Checkbook out.
Maybe Elon Musk will loan her the money. Hey, she must have.
She claimed. Wait a minute. She claimed that she gave $250,000 to a certain charity, right? Very nice.
And they don't know anything about it.
Isn't that nice? No, they do know about it.
They didn't get the money.
They did get the $250,000.
They got it from Musk.
They got it from Elon Musk.
Yeah.
No way, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
She must give a blowjob that is unbelievable. $250,000 blowjob. That's pretty damn good.
Well, there's something.
So when you're Elon Musk, you probably anything less than that is not good.
The only thing that makes me disrespect Johnny Depp is, why did you marry this woman?
No kidding.
You could have gotten laid anyway. Why did you marry her? Because the minute you married her, it all turned sour.
This kind of
Isn't that always the way?
This reminds me of the music singer Eminem, which I don't think is music's music. His wife and him went to court about 10 years ago, and she wanted a restraining order and millions of dollars away from him. And the judge says, wait a minute. She says he's crazy. He says, of course he's crazy. Do you ever listen to his music? He talks about putting his girlfriend in the trunk of a car and driving it into a river or lake or something. And she had no comment.
You were talking about that tonight.
I was talking about putting you in the trunk of the car. One less Republican.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that it's an amazing cultural phenomenon, that it is getting this much popularity. I mean, you can look and see how many people are watching it at any given time. And today I got up to 1.3 million on one channel, because there are like 5 different channels running it. I mean, it's just amazing. Yes, Charlene.
Okay, this could be like a changing the subject thing. So if you want to do that,
I don't
I'll say it. But I know you don't like that when someone changes the subject right away. Right?
Well, I mean, what were you going to change it
Only
to?
when I do it.
Well, my friend today, right? She says, like Ray Liotta died, blah 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 blah. The first thing, and I'm saying this to her, and she didn't even correct me. I'm going, oh my God, Ray Romano is dead. I said, oh my God, I can't believe that. I said, all these comedians are, and so later on, when I saw the picture on my phone, I said, oh my God, it wasn't Ray Romano, it's Ray Liotta. And I'm still shocked, about him dying, because, who are they going to get to be in all the mob films and everything now, right?
Does that mean all of New Jersey is going to go into mourning because a mob figure died?
ABC News Flash: Texas Governor Greg Abbott to skip NRA convention to return to the city where the murders went on, of all these kids. God, the guy had a moment of being a nice guy all of a sudden.
Well, human.
He's running for re-election. Duh.
Well,
what would happen?
Well, he sees a great backlash against him going on right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And is this an election year for him? I wish Charlie were here. We could find
Charlie had said so.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Beto O'Rourke is going up against him.
I was watching in Spanish, because my husband watches, Telemundo and all that. Right. It's really crazy in that area now, like people are like going crazy.
Well, every one of the kids was Latino.
Yes.
Latinos. And the 2 teachers were. And did you hear about one of the teachers who died? Her husband was planning her funeral and died of a heart attack.
Yeah. He found out the price.
Stress. Yeah. From the stress.
What would happen, if the Depp trial gets over 1 million views? What would happen if you just took one of your shows and you relabeled it Heard Depp Trial and just posted your show with that headline? And would you get 1 million views?
Well, I think only
kicked off YouTube.
Only if you played Amber Heard.
You could get a blonde. You could get a blonde wig, Phil.
And we could.
We got Charlene.
And we could probably get Tony to be Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Come on, Johnny Depp, poor thing,
Yeah.
Hey,
got
the Depp ponytail.
Yes, Ray.
So if Johnny Depp gave $250,000, he's worth $280 billion.
No, he didn't give $250,000.
I mean, Elon Musk. That is 0.00008% of his net worth.
Yeah, right.
I just did the math.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But he has what we call a lot of FU money.
When he gave the money, I don't think he had that much money. Was it 2017?
Yeah. Then he only had about
100 billion.
100 billion.
Yeah. So the numbers are a little.
I mean, what's happened to him in the last couple of years, and I guess it all comes basically from Tesla. He is up to. Did I read right that he's up to $275 billion?
Yes. Yesterday I looked; it was $285 billion.
Yeah, and he's about $100 billion ahead of the guy from Amazon,
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Do you think he'll be the first zillionaire?
Is trillion.
It's trillion, billion, trillion. I never knew a number that big.
But I want to see when we hit whatever a gazillion is.
Yeah,
we always talk about a gazillion.
Or Google.
Ray, have you tried your new hot sauce?
Yes, I have that. Was waiting for the moment. Alan sent me this.
Alan
I'll send a
what a
bottle.
guy.
Anybody else that wants one too.
Ghost pepper. I kept on
getting these emails that I was getting something from UPS. It's like I didn't order anything, but that I was.
So I haven't.
How hot is that?
Wait a minute.
I don't know yet.
It's got 3 peppers.
Thank you, Ellen.
I haven't talked about my medical situation today or yesterday. My hand has been killing me. Remember I told you I fell on my hand.
Yeah, right,
And the arthritis I had here started acting
using
up
the
again. And no, I did something better than that. I finally went to my doctor yesterday, and he gave me a cortisone shot. For the first time, I can do this. I'm able to do that in weeks.
Cortisone takes a couple days to fully go to work.
I know, but it's working already.
Excellent. Good news. Good news.
Yeah.
Good news.
You won't have to amputate your hand.
No, but I mean, it was getting to the point where I couldn't write. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's my right hand. You know,
How
it's
do you
not
think
like
I
my
feel?
left
I'm
hand.
not your age, but shit, I weigh over 300 pounds. When I fall on my hand, they talk about amputation.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
You fall on your hand. The earthquake people are able to measure the how much you move the earth.
The earthquake people?
Yeah, what was it? The geological survey or whatever. The geological
Richter scale. The Richter
scale people.
But anyway, but the only thing about a cortisone shot, how many of you have ever had a cortisone shot? Yeah. That is the most painful shot.
Oh, I know.
Really?
Am I
right?
I've had a couple in my knee.
Like, didn't they give you a topical first?
Well, he gave me he put a topical on there, but that isn't what hurts. What hurts is the needle goes in. It was on the surface. It's got some Novocaine in it.
Mixed
So
with
initially your hand feels better, but it's got Novocaine in it. But they put it in there and it stings. And just by the time it's so painful you want to start screaming, it's over.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's so uncomfortable? Not the needle itself, Alex. It's because cortisone is very thick.
Yeah, I know. It's a viscosity.
And pushing it into an area that's already sore is why it hurts.
Well, they also have to. They also have to put it into a joint or whatever.
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean, but I'll tell you, for the momentary pain that gave me, and then the slight pain for about 10 minutes afterwards, being able to just do this now without having it hurt, and just to think about, the benefits I have in the masturbatory area is, because I use the right hand,
In the masturbatory.
So do I. In the bathroom. Come on, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm very right-handed, and I have carpal tunnel on my right hand, and my trigger finger is what they call it. I have to get injections in it, but we're done. No more injections in the trigger finger. If I need it, I got to have surgery. And I said, how long will I be without my right hand? And he said, 10 days. Start learning how to wipe your rear with your left hand. I'm like, God.
I got one of these new toilet seats that sprays your butt.
Yeah, well, they're called bidet.
Yeah, bidet.
But it's like attached to the toilet, though.
But is it the Toto one?
But bidet, isn't that what the Australians say?
Well, in Italy, they have them everywhere.
What brand do you have, Ray?
I don't remember.
Does it work?
I'd have to go look.
Does it
you
work
have one
good?
that plugs in?
It works great. It has a
Does it
heater.
plug into the water as well? Yes.
Send me one.
It cleans the toilet.
Really?
I have one
It's
too.
like
It's awesome.
they're expensive. My wife bought it. I don't even know.
I know they are.
Did
you have one?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did she buy it for you or did she buy it for her?
They're not expensive if you just get the kind that goes on top.
Yeah, that's what we got.
It was like $150.
Oh, that's all it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we got. Yeah.
You just have to have an outlet nearby.
Right.
And then it also heat the seat as well.
Yes.
It's quite a luxury.
And you have to hook it up to the water. It's
Ray
so awesome.
Ray does his show from in there now.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps me calm.
Well, I still have the old toilet. You know what I never liked though? I never could figure out. I every now and then when I was dating, and maybe I'd go over to a woman's place and I'd have to go use her bathroom. Some of them seem to have fallen in love with these like foam toilet seats,
Oh, I hate those.
Oh God.
That was
Can't get any leverage.
You can't get any leverage. It doesn't spread the cheeks. I mean, it's horrible.
Right. It's horrible.
Oh, it's and I don't want to be that comfortable when I'm taking a poop.
No, I want to do my business, wipe and leave.
Yeah, and leave. Yeah, or either that, or I want to read a good book. But something
what I hate
else
is when you have a woman around and you rush in there to do your business, and she has done you a favor by lowering the toilet seat. I mean, lowering the lid. Which, of course, when I live alone, I don't usually lower the lid. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, Marjorie said to me, You know, why don't you leave the seat down? You put the seat down when you're through.
Right.
Every woman says that. My feeling
That's
is, why don't you put it down when you need it?
Exactly.
Bill doesn't even use
that's
the
why
toilet. He uses the shower.
That's why I use my own bathroom, and I leave it the way I want. And Faye uses her own bathroom.
Okay.
And and I leave the seat in the condition that I want it to be in.
Yeah, we have 2 bathrooms here, but you know, one of them's kind of, you got to go through the pantry to get to it.
Oh, that's right. I used that one.
Oh, you used that one when you were here?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Because you could have walked all the way down the hall and used the bigger bathroom. But
I don't know. I just remember seeing it.
Was the seat comfortable, Ray? Do you remember?
It was just standard, you know?
Yeah, it was standard. I don't.
Yeah.
But you can get something to eat on the way.
What a strange architectural,
Alex,
a strange architectural design to put it
Wait,
you know
behind.
the fair one?
What?
Have you seen that, like a catalog for old people? They have that tacky toilet seat with all the gold coins in it and all that.
What?
Oh, you know what kind I hate is when you go to somebody's house who can't like stand up very well, and they have like those handles and the plastic, and you're like, man, I hate that.
The only trouble with that is trying to reach around there to get underneath.
Wait,
It's like impossible.
What are you
I did a measure tonight in an old folks area, and they had really tall toilets. They were at least four inches higher than a standard toilet.
Why?
I don't know why they do that. If it's to transfer from a wheelchair or
that could be
their knees. They can't bend
their knees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be getting one of those.
Well, you know what happened to me? I mentioned this earlier with Slayton, and I think I talked about it last night. It's never happened to me in my entire life, even when I was a kid. The other night, I was sleeping and rolled over and fell out of bed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh,
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a nightmare, and I fell out of bed in Mexico on the concrete floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was all bruised up and cut and everything.
Well,
If you paid 10 more, you could have got padded carpet room.
I hit the rug, but I got a rug burn. I don't know if you can see it there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
And Marjorie said it sounded like an explosion when you hit the floor. You know, because as opposed to maybe just rolling over and falling out. I mean, I've fallen out of bed when I've been having sex with somebody and we've gotten a little rambunctious, and I I fell off the bed, but I didn't fall with dead weight. But I was sleeping, and so what fell over and onto the floor was dead weight.
Ouch.
So lucky you didn't break a bone.
Well, also, I mean, I landed on this hand, and it got even worse. That's why I finally went to the doctor. You know, and also I wanted him to X-ray the hand to make sure it didn't get broken.
My bed is 36 inches off the floor because I have a double drawer platform oak bed frame, and so I'm glad I've never rolled off of that.
Yeah,
that's you can get up a lot of speed in 3 feet.
I think this is about 2 feet off the floor. I think.
Yeah.
You know, at that
Dorchester,
at that Dorchester hotel, the bed that I stayed in was very high off the floor because they were like antique style, where they had bedpan warmers, which they didn't use, but they were under there. It was like looked like a shovel with a with a top on it.
Yeah.
And that was part of the decoration of the room. When you stayed there, did they have those?
I don't remember. It's so long ago when I stayed at the Dorchester. I don't even remember the hotel room.
It's now a Motel 6, Phil.
It's now the Dorchester 6. You know, it's still the fanciest hotel. Right now, it's considered one of the fanciest hotels in London.
world.
At that time, it wasn't. But
where is it?
In London.
London. Oh.
Yeah. It was near near Savile Row. That's why they put me up there. You know, yes. I was over there to visit with the Beatles. Sorry.
London's expensive. The Beatles.
Huh?
London's expensive to stay in overnight.
Phil likes rooms with Beatles in them.
Yeah, but the radio station was paying for it, so I didn't give a good goddamn.
Is that when you were James Bond, or that was after that?
You know, that's when I was Was I James Bond?
James
then?
Bond. Oh, Jesus,
Can't remember if I was or
memory.
wasn't. Oh no, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Oh no,
Did
no,
you
I was
have a
here. No,
license?
I was here in New York at the time.
Oh.
So
You went there to cover the Beatles?
yeah.
Oh, well,
Wow, how cool.
Well, I was over there to cover the Is Paul Dead?
Paul is dead.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Paul is Dead thing.
Right.
Yeah, and most of them were out of town, but Ringo wasn't. So
Well,
yeah.
is Paul dead?
No, he lives in South
No.
America.
Have you heard his music lately?
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Him and Elvis are sharing a bungalow in Colombia.
Huh? Bungle.
Boy, that hot sauce went right
Elvis.
to your head, Ray.
But anyway, so Matt, I guess you weren't upset after last night's show, were you?
No, I wasn't upset. I was glad to be able to vent a little and hear other people's opinions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh, what happened?
Oh, this was a battle royale last
Go watch
night.
the show.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Go back and watch it. Yeah, Phil.
Alex versus Phil.
The old Phil was
And a little bit
the old
versus
Phil.
Alan.
The old Phil was back.
Oh, the guns and all.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because
Jesus.
what's his name?
And more.
Our
Brian lit into both Phil and me over our beliefs on guns. So
yeah, yeah.
we're big boys, no big deal.
Well, Vernon Nunn wrote me a whole encyclical today about it. You know, he was very upset when he heard it last night.
Yeah.
And so he had to just write me and just get it off his chest. And it was some
I
good
don't
stuff he
know if
wrote.
I thought it was pretty good.
Huh?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We got to do something. I mean,
It's all to be-
every country has mental illness. You know,
Yeah.
we got to do
it's
something. There's
just-
too many, like assault rifles and all this shit.
There was some guy interviewing Ted Cruz from a foreign press, and he said, "Why is it your country seems to be the only country that has this on a real mass scale?" And immediately Cruz looks at him and goes, "Oh, you don't like America?"
He asked a question.
Poor thing. If he had 2 brain cells, he'd be dangerous.
Well, you know, I mean, it was just the fact is that everywhere in the world they're scratching their heads because they've all solved this problem the minute it showed up. In Australia is a perfect example.
Yeah.
They just passed laws that said you can't have guns. That's it.
I said
And
this-
there hasn't been another mass shooting in that country in 20 years.
Well,
And
you
in
would think
China,
when-
they just harvest your organs.
What does that have to do with it?
It's-
Phil?
Yeah,
You
what does
see,
that got to do with
because
you
guns?
always
You
change
know-
the subject.
No, well, think about it. I mean, you know, so
Okay,
here
I'm
you
thinking.
can protect yourself, but in China, they got a group of people that they just harvest their organs and put into camps.
But what does that have to do with school
Well,
shootings?
it has to do with if
Nothing.
that happens.
What does that
you
have
can
to do?
defend
What does
yourself in
that
this
have to
country.
do with mass murder in the United
Because
States?
you can defend yourself in this country. We
Okay,
have
so
the
are you
right.
just saying it would be
defend
better if we
ourselves.
harvested organs?
No, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
So
And
if
in
we
order-
didn't have 450 million guns, our organs would be harvested?
Well,
Chances
talk
are
about
that could happen, yes.
the pursuit of happiness to those 18 kids who are now dead.
Yeah, and they would have been a lot happier if the teacher had a gun.
Oh, really?
Oh, you think that would have stopped
They
the guy?
had a gun. You know.
Here
don't
we
even
go,
start.
folks. We're off to the races again.
The teacher
Oh,
didn't have a
whoops!
gun.
There's a theme song.
Can I say
There-
something
I got-
real quick?
I got something to say
real
too.
quick.
Matt,
It was a bullet sponge.
Matt,
Phil, that's right. Phil, the teacher had a gun. The bad guy's going to see that as a threat. He's going to kill the teacher right
That's
off
right.
the top.
How about you,
I don't
Matt?
think having
Matt?
harming
Well, only if
So-
it was you.
The
Matt?
NRA convention is tomorrow. Trump will be there, and guess what will not be allowed inside?
Yeah, I just
Guns.
Anyway,
That's what they said.
hey, that's it for tonight. Okay, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's in Texas. You get a free gun for walking in the door. Yay, go!
You get a gun, and you get a gun,
Yeah.
and you get a gun.
Anybody that wants the pepper, send me a message offline, and
Yay, Alan! Yay, Alan!
I'll send you a bottle if you really.
Is that
like
hot? Is that
sauce.
really hot stuff?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn hot. Go
Those
get
peppers are supposed to be really hot. There was some YouTube I saw where this guy was bringing a sandwich in to his work,
You
and
want some,
somebody-
Alex? I'll
and-
I'll
and-
send some to you.
and somebody kept eating it. So he put some ghost peppers in it, and the guy almost had a heart attack after he ate his sandwich.
Well, my wife loves hot stuff. So
I'll send you a bottle.
Anyway, hey, listen, that's it for tonight. Jeff, you've been quiet, but thanks for being the first one here tonight and talking to me for a while.
You're very welcome.
And Phil, thank you for calling because you pitied me. Charlene, thank you for calling tonight. Nice having you. I haven't seen you in a while. Matt, 2 nights in a row. This has been wonderful. You're a good addition to the show.
Nice
Alan, you too, and Ray, we'd love to see you more often, okay? Everybody, give yourself a big wave goodbye, and I'll give you a big wave goodbye back, okay? And there they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. That's it. And there's no Jack Bishop next. Part of the reason there's no Jack Bishop is because Jack is... hold on a second. Something happened here. There we go. Jack Bishop has got certain medical problems, and he's in the hospital, but it's not life-threatening or anything like that, so don't worry about that part of it. But he's not going to be up next. So that's it. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Night, everybody.